What's up guys, here in the garage with the 2019 Mazda CX-5 again, and it's now been almost exactly 6 years and 66,000 happy miles with the CX-5. So I figure it's a good time for an ownership update on the car. I'll go over everything that's currently wrong with the car, all the maintenance done, and all the money we've spent on the car, including gas, oil changes, and everything. And finally go over unexpected repairs. And we did have a major repair done under warranty, so if you own a CX-5, definitely stay tuned for the story about that. So we don't have a whole lot wrong with our CX-5, but getting right into it, we do have, after 60,000 something miles, a lot of paint chips on the front of the car. So there's a lot of people online complaining about soft paint on the Mazda and a lot of chips and pits like this. I will say we have probably hundreds of little marks here, and all these specks, they are chips that I can feel. I did just wash the car. And I think the worst part is on the hood. On the bumper, it's very vertical to the ground, so I understand lots of rocks will hit. But on the hood, you can see all these white marks are chips down to the metal, or at least the primer. So several dozen of these paint chips. So with over 60,000 miles, not totally unexpected, but compared to the front of my Honda Fit, definitely more chips on this. Otherwise, we'll take a quick walk around the CX-5, and it definitely still looks great. However, there are a lot of chips, dings and scratches. Some of them are my wife's fault, and we did have some body work done to it in two places. You can see a little bit of it here. It's not the best job. I actually recorded a video about our experience with getting that body work done that I never posted, so if you're interested, post a comment and maybe I'll get around to editing that. But overall, all these little chips and dings, they kind of bother me, but they don't bother my wife. And to most people, this car still looks great. Coming to the inside, there's a few things worth mentioning. The first is pretty minor, and from my research doesn't affect a lot of CX-5s, but that is this. So the driver's side rear seat attachment point is just slightly loose, and I can kind of reattach it. That doesn't help, and there are two positions, and no matter which position, it still makes the sound. So this is not a big deal. Some people might not even notice it, but I believe this came to the factory like this. I read online some people tried to take this into the dealer to get it looked at. I think not a lot of people were able to get a resolution for this, and I never tried on this. It wasn't a huge deal. But that is an issue with the CX-5, and there are a few more as well. So the next issue is a common one from what I've read, and that is the ghost touch issue with the touch screen. So what basically happens is, so you'll just be driving and then come to a stop, which enables the touch screen, and then suddenly random things will be happening as if you're turning the controls, but in fact nothing is happening. It's just a sensitivity issue with the touch screen, and the worst thing is sometimes the volume goes out of control and it just keeps getting louder and louder. The easiest way to fix it is to just turn the car off and turn it back on again. Now, the good thing about this issue is if you're using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay, the issue doesn't arise, at least not for us. So usually we're doing that, and we haven't really experienced this ghost touch that much, so we might just live with it. There is a technical service bulletin out for this, but since we're out of warranty, I think it's unlikely that Mazda is going to cover any of it. Another option is there is a DIY where you can get into the dashboard and disconnect the touch screen, what enables the touch screen, and apparently that fixes this issue. So that's it for everything that's currently wrong with our CX-5. So nothing major, but it's not perfect. And stay tuned for the one major repair that we have already done on the CX-5 that was covered under warranty. Next, let's talk about maintenance. And overall, the CX-5 has been very affordable to own, but there have been a few things that we've had to replace earlier than expected. So first, let's talk about gas mileage. So I have been tracking our gas mileage for over 60,000 miles on Fuely. I definitely missed logging some fuel ups, but I probably logged 80-90% of all fuel ups, and we are averaging 25.2 miles per gallon in the CX-5. So this is okay, but it is not the best for compact SUVs. All right, next, oil changes. So 66,000 miles, we've done 9 oil changes in the CX-5. I just change it when the oil change light comes on. It's not based on mileage, but it works out to about 7,300 miles on average per oil change. Now, of course, your oil change cost is going to be pretty standard no matter what car you buy. The CX-5 takes 0W20. It's pretty easy to change your own oil. If you want to do that and save a little bit of money, I do have a video of that. I'll link it in the description below. Next, two other maintenance items which aren't unexpected after 6 years, 60,000 miles, but we did have to replace these sooner than I would have expected or hoped for. So the first is the battery. We've replaced this about 3 years in. I'll post the exact date and amount of miles we have. But from what I read, not unheard of on both the Mazdas and in general with new cars. But I would hope, about 5 years for a battery. And next is the tires. So our 29 Touring had Yokohama tires, and we replaced those tires at 28,000 miles. So not many miles at all on those tires. Now, they did have some life left, but definitely wasn't going to get even 40,000 miles out of those tires, maybe 30,000 something miles. And so we've since gotten these Michelin X-Tour tires, and they've been great. So I believe these now have about 37,000 miles on them. So more miles than the OEM Yokohama tires, and they still have 8/32 of tread left. So 2/3 of the tread still left. So I consider the useful life of the tire down to 2/32. So that means these still have 60% of the tread left after almost 40,000 miles. That's really good. So the final thing we've had to do in our ownership of the CX-5 has been the rear brake pads. We only did the pads, the rotors were fine. And we did this about a year ago, so about 50,000 something miles. I did do these myself. It was a pretty easy job, saved a few $100, so post for that will be in the description below as well. And that means, yes, the front pads and rotors are still original at 66,000 miles. All right, the air filter have replaced that twice, so about at 30,000 miles. That's a very easy job. I'll link to that one in the description below as well. And the cabin air filter, I've replaced that twice as well. Windshield wipers, I've replaced just the refills with the OEM. They've been pretty good. I believe I've only replaced both the front and rear one time. So pretty impressive there, but these still clean really good. We're in Richmond, Virginia, so of course if you're in more adverse climates, maybe you'll need to do that a lot more. But that is it. That's all I can think of. That's everything we've spent on the CX-5 and all the maintenance we've done. So the only additional thing is a warranty repair, which we'll get into now. So the final thing that we had to repair on our CX-5 is a big one, and that was the torque converter. So this is another thing that Mazda had a technical service bulletin out for. And the symptom, it wasn't destructive or very significant at all, but it was a sign of a defect. And basically, it's a slight chirp from shifting between second and third gear. So I'll insert the video of a sound of this just so you guys can hear it. If you have a CX-5, definitely be looking out for this sound. When I first heard it, I actually thought it was just the tires chirping, and it was very quiet, so you could definitely miss this sound. Fortunately, we were at like 56,000 miles and just a few months away from our 5-year powertrain warranty running out when I caught on to this sound. Our local Mazda dealer was really good. Once they diagnosed the issue, they replaced it under warranty with no haggling or back and forth. So shout out to Witten Brothers Mazda for that. And so that is it. That's everything we've had to do to our Mazda CX-5 in our 6 years of ownership. Happy ownership, definitely. I've grown to really like this car, and my wife loves it still. In terms of quality, I'll say it's definitely been pretty good, but I've loved my Hondas. I've had several Hondas over the years, and I do think with the few issues and the wear of some of the things, it's not totally up to par with what I expect from Honda, but overall, considering everything, this has been a really practical vehicle for us and really can't complain too much. The issues we're experiencing aren't major, and the one major thing, the torque converter, we got that replaced for free. So hope this video helped you. If there's anything I missed, anything you want to hear about the CX-5, post a comment and I'll try to address that in the next video.